Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment, where we love pop culture. Now, earlier this week, we looked at the original Mortal Kombat movie released in 1995. And in today's look back, we're going to look at the sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, released in 1997. Now, while the original Mortal Kombat is still a lot of fun, can't really say that for the sequel. Let's get on with the look back. Now, this movie does jam-pack a ton of characters we had come to know and love from the Mortal Kombat video game franchise. Reprising their roles from the first movie are Shou as Liu Kang and Talisa Soto as Kitana. Characters Raiden, Sonya, and Johnny Cage are casted differently in the sequel, with James Remar as Raiden, Sandra Hess as Sonya Blade, Conrad as Johnny Cage, and introducing new characters to the franchise are Lynn Williams as Jax, Brian Thompson as Shao Kahn, Musetta Vander as Sindel, Irina Pantavia as Jade, Daron McBee as Montaro, Marheen Holden as Shiva, Lightfoot as Nightwolf, Ridley Sue as Baraka, Keith Cook as Sub-Zero, Dana He as Melina, Rainer Schoen as Shinnok, and was directed by John R. Leonetti. Now, Raiden, Sonya, Johnny Cage, and of course Liu Kang defeated Shang Tsung in the first Mortal Kombat, and they stopped him from winning 10 tournaments in a row and taking over Earthrealm, so everything should be all good, right? Now, if you've come to Mortal Kombat Annihilation for some big, intricate, in-depth story, you're definitely in the wrong place. But if you're looking for just mindless fight after fight, get those quarters ready, because there's going to be plenty of those. Now, with the movie named Mortal Kombat Annihilation, you expect a lot of combat. And yes, there is plenty of combat to be had here. So many fights in this movie. Unfortunately, they happen so fast and that there's no real build-up to them. Most of them become forgettable. And honestly, even when you're watching them, the fight sequences, they're not very good. And that's a real shame here. Now, what's the one thing we all love to do in Mortal Kombat to our opponent? Pull off a fatality, of course, but in order to get there, you gotta win the fight, and doing so, you gotta use a lot of the characters' special moves to get there, and I gotta give Mortal Kombat Annihilation some credit. They did try to jam-pack a lot of special moves into this movie, from Sub-Zero's ice to Liu Kang's flying kicks. There are a lot of character special moves integrated into this movie. Unfortunately, again, I don't know what it is, but they just don't work well, and they just don't seem very choreographed or placed well. It really doesn't work. It really makes the special moves not so special. Now, earlier in this movie, Liu Kang, he trains with Nightwolf, and during this training, Nightwolf teaches him how to channel his inner animality. And of course, what animal would Liu Kang channel? The dragon, of course. Come on, he's known as the dragon, using it as a fatality. And of course, here, he's gonna use it as his animality, his power, in order to defeat Shao Kahn. But unfortunately, you know, it was a great idea on paper, but with this like CGI here, I mean, this movie was made in 1997, and the CGI, it just looks like something from the 80s. It's just downright laughable and just not very believable. And while the CGI is not good in this movie, the costume design is just as bad, and my biggest gripe is with Baraka here. Baraka is such a badass character, but the costume that they gave him, I mean, it looks like they went to like some discount Halloween store and they put this mask on this guy and called him Baraka. How is this approved as Baraka? He's one of my favorite characters, one of the coolest characters in the movie, and oh my god, there's just so much injustice here. Now, I am pleasantly surprised that I did finish watching Mortal Kombat Annihilation the entire way through. I honestly, when I put the movie in, I didn't think I was gonna make it all the way through from all the bad things I've heard over the years. I mean, the acting is just downright cringy at sometimes. The story is bland, and the CGI, the animations are awful, but it did keep my interest just enough, I guess, with how fast it moves with the fight scenes to keep me watching to the end. But once the movie's over, there's nothing to talk about ever again with Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Now, I can't say that I'm disappointed in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It is the year 2020, so I kind of knew what to expect going in. But had I gone to the theaters in 1997 to watch this movie, especially coming off the first movie 2 years prior, I would have been pretty pissed if I had sat down, paid money, and watched this movie. That's for sure. Now, if you want a good Mortal Kombat story, just stick with the source material. Play the video game. There's a lot more fun to be had there. Alright guys, well that's gonna wrap up Mortal Kombat Week here on Toned In Entertainment, but we're not done with the movie lookbacks, because next week we're gonna look at a movie starring a WWE superstar, and we're gonna look at See No Evil starring Kang. Now guys, make sure you subscribe here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.